I'll use potassium. I'll use potassium bromide to explain the difference. So when you have potassium bromide aqueous, potassium bromide, you can have the question. The question can be either dilute or concentrated. All right. I'll write anode here and cathode here. Okay. So first of all, the keyword here is aqueous. So there are 4 ions involved here. All right. And the ions are, you will have K plus, Br minus, H plus from water, and OH minus. All right. Now, which 2 ions will go to the anode? Let's look at the ions that will go to the anode first. All right. At the anode, for both, let me differentiate here. When I say the ions move, they will be just attracted to the electrode, but they do not form whatever product. All right? They just move towards the electrode, but only one will be discharged. Like it will either be reduced at a cathode or it will be oxidized. So they will all, like when the electricity switch on, the cations will move towards the cathode and the anions will move towards the anode. But only one of them will be reduced at the cathode and only one will be oxidized at the anode. So at the cathode, for this example here, at the cathode, at the anode we get we have OH minus and we have Br minus. They will move there. That's for both, dilute or concentrated. At the cathode, these 2 ions will move towards. That will be K plus and H plus. Now, the difficult part for this type of questions is for you to choose which one will be discharged at the electrode, and they will be oxidized or reduced. Only one of each will be discharged at the electrodes. All right. So for cathode, the rule is the more reactive metal will stay in the solution. The least reactive metal is the one, or the least reactive element is the one that will be discharged. That's pretty straightforward for cathode. So which one is more reactive, potassium or hydrogen? Anyone?
Hydrogen.
Potassium.
Potassium is, hey man, group 1 are most reactive. It's a giveaway one. Potassium is more reactive. So potassium will remain in solution and hydrogen will move towards, hydrogen will be reduced here. So H plus electron will give you hydrogen, H, but this is a molecule, so we balance it out like this, all right? So you can see that I have H plus, K plus, but only H plus is discharged there. All right? For the anode, we will look at stability. And I showed you in the previous lesson, there is a table that you are going to use, and you have to memorize this one. So Br minus is more stable, so it will remain in solution, and OH minus will be the one that will, be discharged. So your half, so OH minus will start the half equation. It will form 2H2O plus O2 plus 4E. All right? That is for dilute. So dilute follows the rules. Any questions so far? Any questions? Let
No,
me
Mr.
see who's there.
No.
No questions. Ileana and Leandra, Kaylee, Kondoa. Who's that Samsung Galaxy in S7?
Adam.
Oh.
Clean.
Anyway, all right. So let's go to concentrated. So concentrated, the same ions, they will move towards the the anode. The same ions will move towards the cathode. They are here and here. But you are going to bend the rules a little for concentrated. All right? Let's start with the cathode. At the cathode, you have H plus and K plus. But potassium is so reactive that hydrogen cannot displace it. So for concentrated, hydrogen will still be, it will still be reduced here. All right? But I said we are going to bend the rules for anode. The Br minus is more stable than OH minus. And that's why for the dilute, we wrote OH minus will be discharged there. Now, for concentrated, although hydroxide is least stable and we expect this here to appear here, it is not the case because the solution is concentrated already. Therefore, instead of OH minus, we will have Br minus. So you will get 2 Br minus. It will be oxygen. It will be Br2 plus 2E. All right? So please realize that the main differences is especially with the anode reaction. All right? Any questions? Any questions?
No.
Mr. Can you please explain the anode part
Okay.
again?
All right. So for the anode, there is to choose which ion will be discharged. We have to look at the stability of the ions, and there is a table that I will give you, or if you have it, I'm sure I put it in the question bank too. All right. Anyway, so the one that is stable will remain in solution, and the one that is least stable will come out of the solution. So for OH minus and Br minus, I'm talking about a dilute here. OH minus is least stable, so it will be discharged. That's why our half reaction is represented by this. However, when it comes to concentrated, although OH is least stable and we expect it to be discharged here, according to the rule I explained, the problem here is now concentrated. Bromine is more concentrated, so instead of OH minus, we are going to bromine will be, the bromide ion will be discharged. Any more questions?
So what topic are we under?
We are still on aqueous. Aqueous, but differentiating between dilute and concentrated.
Okay, Mr. Thanks.
I will write KCl and I will listen to you to discuss. Can you discuss?
Yes.
So I will pick out your mistake. You talk amongst yourself and I will pick out your mistake, then I will come in to help you. All right. So I'd like to hear these things in your discussion. I'd like to hear which ions will move to which electrode, and For dilute and concentrated, you tell me the ions that will go to the electrode, and if someone can also say the half equation, that will be better. So the example you are going to discuss is again it's a potassium chloride, KCl. All right, KCl, aqueous. All right.
Okay.
Please start talking now. Which ions will go to the anode? You can chat. You can also chat. I'll see what you are. Yes, come on, start talking.
Yeah,
How many ions are there?
chlorine goes
Yes, thank you.
4 for dilute, right, guys? Kelly,
Anode. Do the loop anode first.
Come on.
Manu,
Yeah, get this person to talk.
Yes, Mr.
Which ion? I'll give you another 2 more minutes, 3 minutes. Which ion will go to the anode for dilute? Which will go to the cathode? Which will be discharged?
potassium and H plus.
Where will it go to?
No, potassium at the cathode and chlorine at the anode.
And then
And
how about the other
H plus at the cathode and OH minus at the anode.
right? Which one are you referring to? Concentrated or dilute?
Dilute.
Dilute, okay. So then someone will choose which ion will be discharged. Let me write what you have said. Come on, keep on talking.
Talk.
So, Kondoa,
Okay, yeah.
Kondoa, what do you think? Which one's gonna be discharged from the anode side?
It's OH, right?
Yeah, continue quickly.
Yeah, and for the cathode?
H. I do know.
H plus.
For the
Right?
cathode, all your answer is H plus.
Yeah.
All right. So H plus, it will be 2H plus 2E will give you H2. And what was
H2.
No.
what's the ion that you chose for anode?
OH minus.
OH minus.
All right. OH minus is correct. So it will be OH minus plus 2H2O, O2.
Plus O2 plus 4E minus.
Oh yes, 4E minus. All right. So we are done with dilute. And let's look at concentrated now. Let's start with the cathode. Which one will go to the cathode?
I thought it's the same.
Same.
All right, correct. And how about the anode for concentrated?
Chlorine.
Minus.
Chlorine.
Cl minus.
All right.
Cl minus.
So you will get 2Cl minus. We give you Cl2 plus 2E.
2E
Right.
minus.
Yep.
Yes.
And so if the question changes to asking about the product, for dilute, what is the product at the anode? Or let me put it this way, what is the major product at the anode for dilute?
Oxygen.
Correct.
Oxygen.
And the product for the at the cathode for dilute.
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen gas.
What is the product at the cathode for concentrated KCl?
Hydrogen gas.
Concentrated KCl at the cathode will still be
Hydrogen
gas.
and for the anode it will be
Chlorine.
chlorine. All right, guys. Any other question? The guys are not asking any question. Is Jamal?
No.
And Klein is not talking. Ileana, Leandra, Jimaima. I think I will stop here. What I'd like you to do is to tonight. I'd like you to prepare yourself for tomorrow's lesson or for the next lesson. Next lesson will be on electroplating. I will spend the 2 sessions on electroplating. All right. So take
Okay.
your note. We got 3 minutes to go. Any other questions? Should I
Show
solve
me
the
last question
example?
I had the connection.
Dom, what?